Shane, we do a session every 2 weeks. A group of us get together, Dan, myself and Bernie, just come in and smash the legs. You love it and you hate it at the same time. Training with Shane is a whole other level above what you can do by yourself. You think you're doing a good job when you're by yourself, but when you come in and you've got someone really motivating you and standing over you and making sure that you get every last rip out that you can, it's just a whole other level. And we've had a few vomits, and you're always shaky after you leave, but it's well worth it. Like, you've trained well after you have a session here with Shane. And personally, my legs just need a huge smash. I was one of those guys that never came in and did legs because I don't like them. Used to just wear tracksuit pants and then forget about it, but I'm paying the price now. So when you're up on stage, like you won't have tracksuit pants on, you have nowhere to hide. You've got to do everything you can to give yourself a good chance. So yeah, I think we'll stick with this right through and just really get that motivation. And having Dan and Bernie and myself here together, we can push each other a bit further as well. So yeah, hate it but love it. It's all good.
I guess what motivated me to give bodybuilding a go in the first place was I come in, train with Shane from an MMA background or a boxing background, and basically come to Shane for a bit of fitness and sort of down those avenues, and come up to the gym and started doing a bit of tin, pushing a bit of tin around, and seeing some of these big boys in the gym, and thought, that looks pretty awesome what they're up to, and the shape and the transformation. And from there I decided that I'd like to give it a go, but then never really had a bit of self-doubt that I could never get there as such. So never sort of thought it took it any further. And then talking to Shane earlier this year, Shane just sort of got on my ear and said, you could potentially do quite well. You hold good shape and good size, and I guess from there I give it a go. I guess for me, Powertech, I'd heard about Shane from obviously around the traps, been at a different gym and training for the boxing and the MMA. I heard about Shane and his, I guess, the raw mongrelness of his training. That's what sort of led me to him, was his mongrel trainings and just the way they train. There's no pussyfooting around. It's sort of raw, and that I was into the flipping tractor tyres and things like that. Basically looked Shane up and gave him a bell, and from there we just sort of never let me down really. From day dot we've been training hard and going hard. I've come leaps and bounds. He assured me that it was a set. He gave me a time. This is how long it's going to take to get to where you want, and everything he said, if I followed what he did, wrote down for me, and I followed what he said, we got there, and it was proven track record, so couldn't look past him really. Yeah, I started with Shane in March 2011. Started with him with just a few goals. It was basically, we signed up for a 3-month thing. Shane assured me that I could lose some kilos. We sort of aimed, I was 138 kilo at the time, aimed to get to about 115. And basically in 4 to 6 weeks I dropped over 10 kilo. 8 weeks my weight had dropped from 138 kilo to 108. I sat at 108 for quite some time, and until recently where I've actually tried to bulk up a little bit, so I've put on a wee bit of weight. So I'm sitting around 115, 116 kilo at the moment, and then I'll start my cut in roughly 2 weeks. My highest weight was 150 kilo, so I've been quite heavy, quite embarrassing really, and I just guess I made a lifestyle change and decided that I didn't want that anymore. I carried it not too bad, being 6'6", but still it's a huge lot of weight to be carrying around. I went to Shane and just rapid results real quick, but also doing it right. It's only time I've ever done any sort of, I guess, dieting as such where I've held the weight off. Just, I guess, I could lift my own body weight from not being able to do chin-ups to being able to bang out 20 chin-ups, you know what I mean, like just leaps and bounds. And from there I just haven't looked back now into looking at doing the bodybuilding. I'm going to go in the novice athletic tool division. So for that I have to get under 100 kilo. For me the biggest thing, it's not so much the diet. I hear a lot of people talking about how the diet's hard. For me, I made that lifestyle change some time ago that I didn't want to turn back. I'd made a change in my mind that I don't want to be that person anymore, and the greater pain for me is not being able to put that chocolate in my mouth or that junk in my mouth, but the greater pain for me is not seeing that result at the end. So I just sort of weigh it up, what hurts more, being fat or not getting those goals. And the biggest challenge for me is actually more of a self-belief thing. I've never actually been to that stage where I've been, I guess, shredded to the point where I've had abs or anything. So for me, imagining that or believing that's probably the hardest thing for me. Not so much the diet, but just yeah, actually having that self-belief that shit, I will look like those guys on stage, and having a bit of faith in Shane. You know, he hasn't let me down yet, and his training, his knowledge is just incredible. So I guess with Powertech, you know, we're heading in the right direction. Yeah, I guess for me with the competition, I'd love to, first and foremost, like anyone, you'd love to get a placing. You know, first place would be fantastic, but for me it's just it's more my goal is to beat myself really and get out there and prove that I can actually get on stage and actually look good. You know, not people thinking, you know, far out, he deserves to be out there whether first or last. As long as I'm up on stage and I'm in good nick, I think that's the biggest thing for me. But I guess that aside, I think like anyone, all the guys placing would be fantastic, and potentially, you know, going to Auckland and competing at the Nationals would be the overall big picture goal. But for me, yeah, it's mainly just to get up there and prove to myself that that I'm capable of having a six-pack as such. Yeah, cheers.
Just different, you know, phases of dieting coming down in towards the show. It's real important after a big bulk, especially, is just to start taking things off a wee bit slower and at a gradual rate. I think, you know, if you start losing too much too early, you're going to start losing a wee bit too much of that muscle that we've just worked so hard to build. So it's real important to bring it down gradually and you know, coming to the point where we're at a good lean condition to start the shred phase of the process, which is really getting in and getting rid of that hard fat that everyone sort of holds in tight. So the shredder that everyone's sort of talking about is the diet that I put together when I competed back in 2005. So it doesn't consist of a lot. It's you know, a very effective way of getting very lean, very fast, and high protein, obviously low carbohydrate and low fat diet, combined with you know, a couple of other wee tricks that I have up my sleeve, and it just works really well. And you'll run that for as long as, you know, the sort of condition that you get yourself in before the lead up towards the show. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that are dropping off nice and steady, and like I was saying before, it's just coming off at a good rate. So they're coming in quite lean. You can get away with running something like that for as low as maybe 6 to 8 weeks. But some of the other guys that are carrying a wee bit more, close to the time, we'll look at being up around, you know, the 12-week mark, and some guys even up as high as 18 to 20 weeks.
Since last time you saw me, I've changed my diet to a leaner diet, dropping out the carbs and the fat, really upping the fruit and veggies, keeping that protein level up, and just eating a whole lot healthier really than the heavy bulk stage. Training hasn't changed that much. I'm still lifting heavy, training really hard. I don't think that I'll be swapping my training around until maybe when I move on to the shredder, and then in that case it'll be lighter weights, higher reps, you know, just to get that tone. Living in a hall of residence now. I'm in Dunedin actually, studying at uni. So now I'm living at a hall's residence, and it's pretty hard having everybody out on town, drinking most nights and going crazy. But you got to make a choice, and you got to commit yourself if you want to do any good in bodybuilding. And I'd say that they easily spend as much money as I do on supplements, you know, on booze every week. $80 could buy you a sack of mutant whey or, I don't know, 8 drinks out in town. So they easily rip through even more than I spend on supplements. It's all about choice. We've just started our posing sessions once a week. It's on Sunday mornings at 10. We've just had one now, actually. And I'm finding it pretty tricky actually to, I mean, for example, some poses we have maybe the side triceps, and also flexing the tricep, you've got to flex the calf as well. So I'm concentrating on the tricep, and I forget about my lower body, forget about the calf. So I need to remember just to
also tense the tricep, but also think about the rest of my body, because all of my body's on stage and they're looking at my body from head to toe. So you got to have that sorted, you know, before you go up on stage. My weight since last time has dropped by about 6 kilos, I believe. I think I was sitting around 104, 105. Now it's down to 95 and a half on a good day. So yeah, it's the weight's starting to come off slowly but surely. So we'll see how it goes. The more I lose now, the easier it's going to be later on, going into the shredder diet, which is that's the real tough stage. So get as much off now as I can, and it just makes it easy down the track. So yeah, keep training hard, eating right, practicing with posing, and we should be looking good.
Come on, up.
Henry's makeshift undie dryer, that's him there, hoping to attract the ladies by displaying his extra large pouch. Where do I start? Fucking intense.
We really want to.
I think we got Bernie in there saying he's lost 5 kg because he shaved his pubes off. So that's gonna